Let me talk about thinking about you on formative assessment. And to talk about formative assessment, I have to present a case study about 50 years of formative assessment. I should say my case study. And this is to show you that we have different stages. First is the hippies revolution, second is the dream revolution in the 70s, the pencil and paper revolution in the 90s, internet in the 21st century by email, and the LMS. Let us have a look about each stage. In the 60s, the hippies revolution, thinking to change the world with utopias. And in this period, when I was studying in my university in Lisbon, me and my colleagues, we proposed to finish with examinations and implement continuous assessment. You know what it was the result? Zero. This was really a utopia because there are no technological conditions, there was no methodologies to do it. But it was really something. And this became into a dream. In the 70s, I was teaching in Lisbon University. And in 74, there was a revolution in Portugal. Everything has to be changed. And in our university, we tried to change. My students proposed me in September, in the school year of 74 to 75, they proposed me to finish with examinations and make continuous assessment. I got delighted with it and enthusiastic. And I say, okay, I will give you an answer in 1 week or 2 weeks. So in September, I write down what it would be my proposal. It was making a couple of works concerning each chapter of the course and a final work, and we will give a mark. From this mark, students would accept or make a final examination. If they accept, they don't need to make any more presentations, any more proofs. So in May, so imagine we start in September, and in May they proposed me, okay, we want to make a proposal. From the 4th chapters, we eliminate the first and the second. And from the 3rd and the 4th, we will accept one and we will make a work about the one, a group work. And this group work will be presented and you will classify. No discussions about it. And I said, okay, no problem. The maximum classification I gave, it was an 18/20. So what I'm proposing to you, you came to me and you decide if you want a 19 or a 20. Because I cannot compare those colleagues of yours that made examinations. Okay, we finish with everybody make a final examination. So in the 90s, or let's say in the 80s, I was very occupied as an executive and the CEO, but in the 90s, I returned again to have a most close relation with university, and I propose some kind of continuous assessment. This was making questions every classes. So the student in the next lesson, in the next classes, they should come with a paper with 3 questions, and from these 3 questions, 4 answers. 3 right and 1 right and 3 wrong answers. And in the final of each chapter, they should make a group work and they should make a reflection about it. This was a very, very good experience. But in that period, there was not technology enough. In the beginning of the 21st century, email was a real tool appealing for everyone using it. So we decided and we start to use it, but using the same methodology, but with a new technology. It was internet email, and it was very good experience. I have already the proposals that my students have made. As you can see, there is individual groups and group work, and everything is in my registration, in my recordings. But after the LMS period, so with the LMS, we can do all of this integrated in the LMS. And from my opinion, this is the future. Let's have a look, first of all, about the importance of formative assessment in the learning process. The question is, how do we learn? We receive all the information in the working memory, let's say short-term memory. This is a behaviorist action. But we have to register all the information by reflection, by self-working, and by group working in long-term memory. This is constructivism. Let's say that we need a lot of good practices to learn what we are receiving. It means that we need some reflection. We need to write a resume of what are our doubts or what are our questions about each topic. And after, we have to transfer all the information to long-term memory. This is the constructivist, and there is another step. Let's complete the questions about each topic. This is a self-reflection work. This is debate with our colleagues and make a group work for reflection and integrating, evaluate ourselves, and let be evaluated can be by teacher or by, let's say, a peer assessment, making exercises and complete all the assessment process. And this is called formative assessment, access to learn. This is, let's say, the main process. How did we make it in practice? This is a beautiful theory, but how did we make it in practice? The practice is very easy. To make the individual work, you should reflect and memorize, take your notes and create your doubts and make your questions. This is your own work. But the next step is the group work. Group work is very important because the interactivity, the socialization, and the support from all the group and reflecting, making all doubts together and make the conclusions together. Normally, my students make, let's say, what it can be called an abstracts of their work. Not more than 2 pages. The objective is to make between 1 and 2 pages of work. And this is all our work. Selecting group members. This is a very important task. And we should select our group members according to this way. We can have members all over the world, but we have to select them according by time zones, because it's difficult to make people meetings if they are in very different time zones, or by learning styles. This is very important. But put people working according to their learning styles. They must make a more homogeneous groups and a very good results. So time zones is very important. You can use as well crossing with learning styles, or you can put everybody working with each one with no criteria, or using as well learning styles. This is according to your definitions. But formative assessment in an LMS platform is a very important thing. So in my platform, we use that, and we have, let's say, an application that we can register the questions made by our students, and we can control it. The second step, we can see all the questions, or the questions by person or by groups. Let's have a look in the second model of the course and create again your questions. and using the questions to answers, or to make another questionnaire. In the future, we can select some of most important questions, and we can mix with some other questions made by the teachers. And this is the main line of making our continuous assessment. In the final, we have to complete your assessment, control your work by the work in progress line, create the questions, make your group work and peer assessment, and make your own questions and your tests. This prepares you really for life, for a final work, for summative assessment, and to be mainly a good student and a good learner. With this, you can learn a lot. Let me put you two questions before we go to the conclusions. And the first question is there a real difference between formative and summative assessment? It is a real difference. And let's listen to the opinion of several experts. Goodall and Alvidich, they say that formative assessment is for learning and summative assessment is for grading or for certificate. Other opinions, so let's say, if we go into details, we can say that formative assessment is designed to assist the learning process by providing feedback to the learner, which can be used to highlight areas of further study and improve performance. This is really to give highlights, to give ideas to the student. Instead of tell students how to improve their performance, diagnosis a student's strengths and weaknesses, guide students to improve their knowledge is one of the objectives of formative assessment, and is often used to prepare students for summative assessment. This is really important for the quality of learning process. Assessment for grading or summative or certificate assessment is for external purpose and does not normally provide extensive feedback to the student. It is instead to pass or fail a student grade or rank a student. This is really two different aspects of assessment. And we would like to put you the second question. And the second question is, what recommended tools for formative assessment? I can say that we have already told about this. Self-assessment, peer assessment, group-based assessment, and computer-assisted assessment. These are the four main topics and the four main approaches of making formative assessment. So I can say that our conclusions are based on what? Doesn't matter what is your education environment. You should use formative assessment in pencil and paper, email environment, or LMS. You can use all of these activities. If you want to improve the learning quality, ask your students to make lesson questions, chapter group works and reports, make peer assessment, and create your own computer-assisted assessment to simulate summative assessment. This is very helpful for the quality of the learning process. And thank you very much for your attention.